Hello and welcome to the NS9 Postgame Show. I'm Cody. That's Doug. The Buccos walk it off in 13. Doug, it was a game, and it was a long one.
Yeah, the Pirates only scored in extra innings. So,
Right.
they couldn't score until they were given a guy to second with no outs, right? And even
Right.
then, it was a struggle. They tried as hard as they could to lose this game, but the Cardinals may have tried a little harder. I tweeted out 3 days in Pittsburgh, and our piratey ways are clearly contagious because the Cardinals were doing some of the dumbest. Our outfielder has the ball, their guy's not to third, and they're sending him home. I mean,
I know.
like what's going on? And just, man, terrible.
And for as long a game it was, for as good the pitching was, which makes it hard to talk about anything, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there sure is. And let's say it is a win. It's against the Cardinals. It's our first series win.
Yeah.
And there was some really great things to talk about today. The Pirate, Mitch Keller was fantastic. We have a good bullpen, I think. It's got to be used properly, but that's a good bullpen. And they've been outstanding in extra innings. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some good things. I mean, it was a weird, strange, and poorly executed game on both sides. But in the end, it's a series win against a division rival.
Yeah, I was worried for a while there that we wouldn't have much to talk about, that, the Cardinals were going to win 1-0. And then, hey, late in the game, things got interesting. But everybody make sure to put #RaiseIt in the comments. We are giving away 4 Primanti Brothers sandwiches today. And Doug, let's start out with your boy, Mitch Keller, Mr. Dope himself. We got the dope shirt, Department of Pitching Efficiency.
And those are available. You need to get those.
Well, they were available. They may be available again. We do the 72-hour drops on the merch. That's a DiNardo idea, so blame him.
And, sold out. I mean, after what Keller did today, and Dennis Santana, who threw 13 pitches, 11 for strikes. But yeah, let's get to my guy Keller, who, again, even after his terrible start, his last start, I said he is still my pick to click this year. I think he's going to have a better year than he has in past. He reduced his ERA down to like 4.24 today after it was 7 something. He was efficient. He just went after the hitters. Nothing fazed him. He was just outstanding today. This is the pitcher he can be. This is the pitcher we need, right? We need this for more than 3 months out of the season. And I get the feeling we're going to get it this year. I think he's going to turn a bit of a corner. He's not going to be perfect. He's not going to be flawless, but I think he's going to have a good year. And today, against a very good hitting team, he just went through him without breaking a sweat. He pitched into the 8th inning. So outstanding work. Tip the old cap to Mitch Keller. I'm really excited about the season he's going to have. That last start, it's against the Yankees. He was pitching the home opener. These big moments sometimes seem to get to him. But today, he did not blink. He did not flinch. So that was outstanding work by him.
Yeah, this was the veteran performance you wanted to see from Mitch Keller this year, right? Like, this was, I would hope to call this vintage Keller someday. He goes 8 innings. He eats up the innings. He was very efficient. He threw 67% of his pitches for strikes today. I mean, you can't get much better than what we got today from Mitch Keller. And it was amazing.
Outstanding work. And had the Pirates scored 2 or 3 runs, he may have gotten through the 8th, right? But again, because the game was where it was, you had to go to the bullpen before you wanted to. And, Mitch Keller was just terrific. Like I said, so efficient. I think he took him 39 pitches to get through 4 innings, something like that. I mean, he was
Yeah.
just, just setting him up, knocking him down type situation. And like you said, this is what we want to see, and we want to see it again for more than May, June, and part of July. Like if he could give us this for entire season or whatever, how outstanding would that be? And
Right.
would we don't want to put the entire hopes of this pitching rotation on Paul Skeens. I mean, it's nice that Paul
Right.
Skeens can have it. He had a bad day, and Mitch Keller comes in and just picks him right up. Like, don't worry, big guy, I got this. And that's exactly what you want to see from him. And he was terrific. And there's just not much more you can say about what he did today. Did he throw any cutters?
I was just about to bring it up, Doug. He did not throw a cutter today. No cutters for Mitch Keller.
That's the next shirt. It's got no cutters with the red.
Right. Yeah, no, he had a really good pitch mix today. 31% of his pitches were fastballs, 23% were sliders, 15% for curves, 11 sweepers, sinkers, 10, changeups, 9. I mean, he was throwing everything except for the cutter, and what do you know? It worked.
And it worked, right? Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he ever had, there was no stress. He never had an inning where you're like, oh no, this might be no. It was man against boys out there, and that was good to watch. And keep in mind, he never got any rest in the dugout, right? He'd get 3 guys out, and then he'd have to run right back out there because we went down. Well, we didn't go down 1, 2, 3. We would let the leadoff man get walked, but he never made it to second base. So it's quickly he'd have to be right back out there because our bats.
No, I mean, credit to where credit's due with Eric Fetty today. He held the Pirates hitless for I think it was 6 or 7 innings.
6 innings, yeah. Yeah, another
incredible.
Another mediocre journeyman pitcher having a career day against the Pirates, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you like the 3 guys coming up on the Reds are going, all right. I'm not losing my spot in the rotation this time.
Exactly.
That might be next game, but not after this one.
So let's look at Caleb Ferguson. He came in relief. Also very efficient, very dope. What'd you think of Ferguson today, Doug?
I really like what we've seen from him so far. He's a a tough lefty, and and I liked the way I liked the way it was rolling out. Again, had we scored a run for them, it would have been a nice 8 1/3 innings from Keller, maybe an inning out of Ferguson or 2 outs, whatever, and then Santana finishes it off. I like now that we're using our better relief pitchers in the proper place. We've moved on from the Bednar Holderman thing out of, I don't know, whatever that was. We all of us, who aren't very smart, but we all said, and we've been saying that since before spring started. But and so I'm really starting to believe in this bullpen. It doesn't have the sexy names that it had last year. It doesn't have the the big dogs like they were lined up and Holderman, Chapman, Bednar type thing. But now you've got Ferguson, you've got Lawrence, you've got Santana, Barucki. I mean they got Wentz. I mean they're just all doing a pretty good job. And again, they're not getting a lot of comfortable games. They're not going out there with 5-run leads, right? We don't score 5 runs. It's 0-0, it's 1-0, that sort of thing. My only concern, of course, is we are going to burn this bullpen out because of just having to use them so much, and then the extra inning games on top of that.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. But what really helped this bullpen today was what happened last night, and that was the piggyback with Harrington, with Majinski. You had a reset bullpen today. Everybody was rested. Everybody was ready. So you're able to go to your best pitchers. And that's something we need to be able to do more often. Obviously, you're not going to have that luxury of a Thomas Harrington.
Last night was the Skeens start, right? It was the one
Oh,
before.
my apologies.
Yeah,
my apologies. You're right. But still, it kept everybody fresh.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You didn't have to use everybody yesterday. And I've been asking for that piggyback because it, for 3 years, it seemed like we've had some guys that are on inning restrictions, young guys, and honestly, not sure who should be starting. Should it be this guy? Should it be that guy? Put them both out there, 1 for 5, 1 for 4,
Right.
1 for 6, 1 for 3, and have it be a day off for the rest of the bullpen. So
Right.
I hope they do that. Whatever, 2 starts from now when it's Majinski again. I hope those are the only 2 guys that pitch. I mean, I hope things go that well. But yeah. I mean, we've got these slew of young starters and that we're going to protect, and we're going to limit their innings and that sort of thing. So how they used to do it in the old days, right? You'd come in and you'd be a multi-inning reliever before you worked your way into the rotation.
Right.
It's sort of how we used Ortiz at the start of the year last year, and that turned out to be very effective. Let Majinski be a starter. He was better in his second start than he was in his first. And, I hope we do something. Like I said, I hope we kind of continue on with this. Let him go 6 innings next time, hopefully effectively, and bring in Harrington for the 3, that sort of thing. And let them learn at the major league level. And, and then, it's only a matter of time before we get Bubba up here, Ashcraft. They're all pitching pretty well down there. So we'll be able to, I think we can do this sort of thing with the 5th spot for quite a while, because, again, we're not going to let them go out there and throw 8 innings. We're only going to let them throw 5. So instead of using 4 more relievers, use 1 more guy, so.
Right. I agree. And I like what Mike said. He also did correct me that was 2 nights ago, as you did too, Doug. But Harrington, if Harrington could be the bullpen rester, then we're right in a spot where you were talking about, Doug, where we can have a legit pitching staff here because we're able to rest our best guys. Here's Jim reminding everybody, put in your hashtag #RaiseIts. I know we've been talking pitching a long time here, but there was a lot of it today. Doug, I do want to get into talking about Ryan Borucki, because that's when things got a little shaky. He gave up the walk, gave up a run. What did you see from Ryan Borucki today?
Yeah, I don't ever really get too upset with a reliever giving up a run in the extra innings. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if the other team uses their outs effectively. He had that rough outing last time. But he still, I think he's looked okay. It was, it wasn't his best outing or anything, but I still like what the King is doing. Again, like I said, when you come in with a guy on second and nobody out, it's remarkable that we held a team like the Cardinals, with only 1 run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, after what were their 10th, 11th, 12, 4 innings, 4 innings of extra inning baseball, 4 innings with a guy on second and no outs, and they only scored 1 time. And we held the Yankees, for, I think, was it 2, that two innings in that game. So, yeah, I was that Neil that just put that out there? Shelton probably deserves kudos today for his handling of the bullpen.
They did it. It helps when they're rested, but yeah.
Well, and like I said, I do like the way he used, and I like who he used. Again, this might just be a byproduct of Bednar and Holder not being available. If they're on the 26th man, he probably had them in there in the 8th and 9th, and we'd have much to complain about. But he didn't have them available. He had to use these other guys, and it worked out well today.
He used everybody in the right spot, and that's what I think has been lacking, especially whenever he had the ability to go to Holderman and Bednar. And then we get into Justin Lawrence. Justin Lawrence pitched great.
Whoa! Don't skip over my guy, Dennis Santana. Yeah,
I did skip over your guy because it's easy. It's easy to skip over a guy when he does his job so well. You're like, I don't need to talk about him. You already know.
Right. It just it was like, and he did it over he came in and got, I think, 2 outs in the 9th, and then 3 outs in the 10th, and 1 out in the 11th.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
I think in the 10th, he only threw 6 pitches or something like that.
Yeah. Dope, baby. It's on your shirt. Department of Pitching Efficiency. That's our guy. He, to me, he is the poster child of that. And so I'm loving. I've been on the Santana bandwagon since about August of last year. He's been our best reliever, since the All-Star break, really. And he's like I said, he's so efficient, and it's not, it's not sexy strikeouts or
Right.
he struck out the side. It's 4 pitches.
Yeah,
What?
well, I hope you have a spot warm for me on that bandwagon because
Oh
I
yeah,
love Dennis Santana.
plenty of room. Who pitched and got the 2? Was it Keller that got 2 1-out pitches? That somebody used 2 pitches to
I
get
know who you're
2
talking
outs,
about.
and it's now slipped my mind. And whoever
I
that
can't
is,
remember if it
yeah.
was it maybe
Was that
Santana
was
or
that Santana when he came in with 1 out?
I thought so,
Ferguson. Yeah,
yeah.
look at that. Even I'm forgetting my guy. Yeah.
Right.
So
That's what I mean. He's so good. It's like, who cares? You
right.
know he's
I
good.
mean, barely remember that he pitched in the 9th. He threw 2 pitches.
Right, right. But yeah, kudos to Santana. I mean, if you're not on the bandwagon with me and Dougie Fresh, you're gonna miss out.
Yeah, you're late.
So
You are late. Right.
right. So let's get to Justin Lawrence, and he pitched great. What I really want to talk about with Lawrence is the positioning of the second baseman, because we should have got out of that inning without giving up a run. Because I think we gave up a run there, didn't we?
No,
Or we
no.
should have.
The only
It
run
should have
was given
ended
up
the inning.
on Baraki, but yeah, we should have been out of it sooner.
Right.
And it's
Just put us through a roller coaster of emotions, and it
and
frustrated the hell out of me.
We're Pirates fans. This is the Pirates team. We're not good enough to give people extra opportunities and recover from it. So like I said at the open, the Cardinals seem to want to lose this game more than we did, and
Right.
that's why we got to how we were able to get to where we were. But man, yeah,
The defense
even
is
a win.
the defense.
Yeah,
I think that's a good transition to talk about everything that happened defensively today.
yeah,
It was a little rough out there, Doug. I mean, the highlight, you had Tommy Pham gunning a guy. He
right.
gunned a guy who was coming home from second on that line drive.
Yeah, well,
So
our guy Anthony Murphy tweeted this out. He's like, "That's the worst send I've seen all year." And then after we had ours, he
and
said,
then
"It's still, it's still that's the second worst, because the sending of the St. Louis runner by their third base coach." But I mean, Pham's there in left field. He's got the ball. Their guy hadn't hit at third base yet. I mean, I know you want to force the action some and that sort of thing, but
right.
God, that was ridiculous. Hey, we'll take it. We don't get the breaks like that too often. We're usually the one making the less intelligent plays. So, but yeah, I mean, we got that. Brian Hayes was spectacular today, right?
What?
I
Like,
mean,
he proved today. I don't know if it's because he's playing Nolan Arenado, but he
right.
proved today why he is a better third baseman than Nolan Arenado.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
the heads up plays, the quick hands, everything.
He had the beautiful barehanded play. Makes all the regular plays. His throw is always right on the money, and then he sort of does that like Derek Jeter backflip. I mean, it wasn't that kind of play, but he's just standing there at home plate. Anybody else would have just watched that collision and then said, "Oh my God, are you guys alive?" He's like, "Oh no, he dropped that ball. I'm going to take." I mean, just a defensive savant, man. He is a genius defensively, always doing the right thing, always in the right place. Man, that play. You have a catcher at first base running into the actual guy playing, like the guy playing first base is a catcher. He should know I know Bart kind of looked like he had lost it for a minute, but Andy, and if those guys get hurt, we've lost both our catchers and a first baseman in one play. I mean, we cannot have that kind of stuff. We have got to clean this junk up. I don't know. Does this team do any coaching? Is someone going to talk to them after, to Andy in particular afterwards and say, "Hey, buddy, you got to leave that for Bart."
But Doug, I don't know. What was the communication there? Like, did Bart say that he couldn't find it, or did Andy see on Bart's face, "I don't have it"? Like, that's the question there. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort by Andy to try and back up his catcher.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody's got to yell. Somebody's got to say, "It's me." That's the biggest thing. They teach you that in T-ball. You got to yell that it's me, mine.
For
That's
sure. You got to call it. And And that's the, in that circumstance, that's the catcher's ball, and he's sort of the captain of
I
that
agree.
situation. So, but again,
But then
it
he
looked like
has to
he
be the
sort of,
one.
yeah, yeah. But
He's
so
got
if
to
he
be
didn't
like,
take
I don't have it.
control,
I don't have it.
right. And then Endy having that catcher gene is like, all right, man, I got to get this. If he's not going to
Right.
get it, so you're right. Like, I can live with errors of effort and trying to make the play. But that was, that one was a little shaky.
Yeah, and I want to go back to Hayes on that. And when they showed the replay, I was like, I want to watch Hayes. I want to see what he was doing the whole time. His eyes, he wasn't looking at either of those guys. He was looking at the ball. He
Yeah.
didn't care what happened to Bart and Endy.
Like,
He was like,
like
"Where's the ball? Who
they're
did they
both in a
catch it?
coma,
Is it
and
on
he's
the
like,
ground?"
yeah, yeah,
He was just
yeah.
like, did they catch
His
it? Is it on the ground? Do I have to
instincts,
pick it up?"
right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, like, he just got his Gold Glove back after today, right?
Right.
It's like, okay, last year was a little blip, folks. I gave you a chance. I'm getting the next 10 of these. You guys, you want to Gold Glove, move to another position type thing.
Right.
And it was just outstanding to see. I mean, he's just a brilliant, brilliant defensive player. And, he's starting to hit a little better so far. So, well, let's see.
Yeah. Any other defensive plays that stood out to you? I know Kutch made a nice catch out there, and
Yeah, early
right
on,
step.
I mean, it's good to see, right? Because we want to know, this team will be better if he can play outfield once or twice a week, so we can use that DH position, again, for like what Reynolds is going through now, to be able to give Hayes a day off and let someone else play third, that sort of thing, and to keep his bat in the lineup. So, Kutch, I mean, he's such a smart player. He
Yeah.
understands the angles and the positions, and he's not the athlete that he was 10 years ago. But he just makes up with it with just all the intangibles that he has, the experience and the wisdom, and his approach to the game.
Yeah, great stuff so far from Kutch. I think he's a guy that wants to play the field too. Like, he understands he's a DH. He understands his position on the field or in the lineup. But that's a guy who knows he's still got it. And I mean,
Right.
obviously you got the younger guys coming up behind him that need playing time and need to be in the lineup, like Reynolds, which they had the whole thing where Reynolds would DH and then that leaves Kutch out. I think they figured out they could do both. They could have Kutch play right field or Reynolds play right field in the other DH. I think hopefully they figured out that is an option.
Yeah, I think that their concern is that if when Kutch gets worn down, he doesn't hit as well, and that
Yes,
they're just trying to keep him as fresh as possible. But
that's fair.
again, the way things are working out, and if Hayes' back is acting up a little with the tricep here with Reynolds, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
it's nice to know that. I mean, he's our best defensive outfielder. Kutch is.
Yeah.
Right, right. I mean, it's a shame again on a team built around pitching that puts no emphasis on defense. And for some reason, the ball, the bat will play, but that's not our. Doesn't seem to
Right.
be our focus either.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's like I said, I'm not nervous when the ball is hit to Andrew McCutchen. I am more nervous when it's hit to any other outfielder we have, I think, than I am when it's hit to Kutch. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's move on to the offense, the little that there was. um,
Okay. All right. I guess it's time to draw for sandwiches because
yeah, almost time for sandwiches on that one. What did you think? I mean, Suwinski in the leadoff spot, I know people don't like it. I know we aren't a fan of it, but he did walk twice. He got on base twice. Now it's a matter of what happens once he gets on base. Like someone's got
right.
to hit him in. So what are your thoughts on that with Suwinski leading off?
I hate it. I
Yeah,
understand he's seeing a few more pitches, but quite frankly, he should be in AAA until he's crushing AAA. Because we sent him AAA last year and he didn't hit well in AAA. He whatever he lost from that 23 season, which again was not his numbers are deceiving. Yes, he hit 26 home run, but he went you know, 70 at bats, 0 for 38. That he had some really bad stretches. It was not this complete whole season. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was deceiving, even though the numbers looked better than what we got. But I mean, there were stretches and stretches where we got nothing but strikeouts from him. So yes, sure, he walked twice today. I don't know if that's his good eye or, guy striking out 46% of the time, or was that just the St. Louis pitching?
Right.
So, personally, I would, I think he should be in AAA till he's hitting 280 and, with an OPS of 900 or something, and then see if it can come up here and translate, because he just, we're getting nothing there. We're just getting nothing.
Yeah. And that something that I noticed, and it's like, yes, he did get 2 walks. But there was a situation late in the game where he was up to bat and he swung and missed on a strikeout on a ball that was outside the zone.
Right.
And I'm like, you had a good eye all game. I don't understand why that's the pitch you decided you were going to take a chance on.
Well,
and I think it was a 3-2 count also.
Right. And honestly, I mean, I've seen him swing at 90 down the middle and miss it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's I mean, again, like you said, he shows a good eye, and then, I think things get later. Guys are trying to do too much. We just need one good, because we just can't even use outs effectively to get a run in,
I know.
So yeah, yeah, I mean, you're not surprised, right, that this team can't hit. When they show you that lineup, you're like, well, yeah, there's like 6 automatic outs in there. I've said this before about this team. We've got 7 26th players. It's, if Jack Suwinski's the 26th guy on the roster, kind of live with it. If Tommy Pham is the 26th guy on the roster, you can if Adam Frazier is the 26th guy on the roster, Canario, I mean, just on and on and on. But again, we've got a lineup of them. We've got this stretch where it's like, man, or again, where pitchers like Eric Fetty can no hit you for 6 innings. A guy comes in with an ERA of over 7. It's not
not ideal.
It's not ideal. Not ideal. There you go.
Another guy who had a good eye at the plate, but also struck out twice. Brian Reynolds. He went 0 for 3, but he had 3 walks. What did we think of Reynolds today? I mean, he gets on base.
Yeah,
but he's the guy that's supposed to hit people in, right?
but right. I mean, again, how many times did we have the leadoff guy? I think we had the leadoff guy in 5 innings. I think 5 different times.
Yeah.
That's not including the guy on second in the 4 extra innings that we played. And we don't we don't get it. We're not stealing bases anymore. We've
that's frustrating.
We did just like in 23. We came out of the gate just stealing, and then G1 Bay got caught twice, and we never stole a base again the rest of the season. Never attempted. And we had some guys. I mean, Jack can run a little. Brian Hayes can run a little, and we just have stopped doing that, and we can't stop doing that. We have to be aggressive on the base pass. We have to, again, force the action. And here for, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 games, it seems like we've had no interest in doing that. Reynolds, I try not to worry about Reynolds too much. We know what he is. He starts out a little slow the first 2 months of the season. They probably, sort of pitch around him in a way, especially with Cruz not playing. I mean, that might be, reason for some of the walks. It's like, this is the only guy in this lineup that can beat us. So, why give him anything? So he takes the walks. And then he was followed up. I mean, McCutchen did not have a good day at the plate. I think, was he 0 for 5? Was he 0? Yeah.
He was 0 for 6.
That last
even
one,
worse.
It's and then right, and they're going to start telling you that's because he's playing the outfield too much, right? So
let's fast forward to the end of the game, because I mean, there wasn't much hitting. I think they got 5 hits total. End of the game, bases loaded. I mean, do we want to talk about Pham getting in the tying run?
Well, we got to talk about
reliable.
I think we have to talk a little smidge about the Canario send, right?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about
Canario.
that.
Now, we shouldn't have sent Canario, However, he ran into the dugout. He went so wide. I thought,
So
did he go in there and get, sunflower seeds? I mean, I could not believe how far I was like, it's like, Rebello's waving him home, which I was like, oh
yeah,
my God, the guy's already got the ball. And then he sort of, I thought, does he just run into the dugout because he know he's out?
right. So I do have a rebuttal to that. I mean, I think from the get go, he did take way too wide of a turn. It should not have been that wide. But I think once he realized the ball was there, he was like, I got to get around this guy because you
Yeah,
can't run over catchers anymore. You can't do
that's
that.
fair. Yeah,
So I
right.
think
Exactly.
he was trying to find the path of least resistance.
And he
So
did avoid the tag there at first,
right,
but like I said, he was
but he
so
was
far
so
from home plate,
yeah.
right, that the catcher had time to recover. So
Yeah, he was so wide that he couldn't get his arm back. He
is
didn't
it?
have Inspector Gadget arms, you know.
Yeah, I was, because Joey Bart sort of walked this game off twice, right? Like we thought he
Right.
walked it off there,
Yeah.
not so fast, my friend. It's.
Yeah, no, that's just my rebuttal there is, he knows he can't run over the catcher. It's not legal.
Yeah.
And he was there. So, yeah, you're right. We did have to talk about that. But Tommy Pham tying it up, old reliable, one pitch, base hit. Love it.
And that's again after like Kiner Falefa, who has been our best hitter, I think, so far to this point. So,
Yeah.
but again, we had a guy on, was it a third with one out or third with no outs maybe, and could not.
No,
Yeah,
I think there was an out, at least
there
one
may
out.
have been an out. Okay,
I don't
but
think we had a situation where we had a guy on third with no outs. I know the Cardinals
okay,
did.
yeah. So yeah, it just I remember thinking at one point, it's like, we've got two outs to use here,
Right.
and got nothing, and then Pham gets the single. Um, yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't want Tommy Pham on this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, York is hurt now, so that I guess, and they don't seem to believe in Cook. I'm not
Yeah.
sure I do either. So, but at least Cook plays defense. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, if you got
He's
two
got the
guys that
glove.
can't hit, right? If you have two guys that can't hit, take the guy that can't hit that can play really good defense, play multiple positions. He can
I
also
mean,
run, but
Doug, they've been doing that with Brian Hayes for like the past 2 or 3 years. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, but I just, I mean, again, who do you think has more upside in their career at this point, Billy Cook or Tommy Pham? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what Cook's ceiling is, but his floor seems to be at least as good as Pham's right now. So,
Right. It's like I'd
um,
rather take the dude in his mid-20s than the guy in his mid-30s, mid to
right,
late 30s. So,
yeah,
but now we get around to Bart. Bases loaded. Do we want to go through how they got loaded? I honestly, it was a blur. I didn't even remember.
yeah. At that point, I was just sitting here going, "Will this end so we can do this show? Give out some sandwiches."
Right. The only thing I do know is that I'm going to admit it. I jinxed Kutch. I put into the group chat because I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I title this show?
Yeah.
And I put in a title. I said, Kutch is clutch. Pirates walk off the Cardinals in the 13th.
Oh, dear Lord. I
And
mean,
immediately, DiNardo is on top of me. He's like, what are you doing? Why did you say this? You jinxed us. And then there it goes. Jinxed it.
yeah. So we start. Right, we start out with the guy in second.
Yeah.
Reynolds got walked, but
Yes.
somebody got, I guess, it was two walks, right? It was back to
Yeah,
back walks
I
to
think it was
load the
back to
bases.
back walks.
Yeah, it was back to back walks to load the bases. Kutch comes up.
Yeah, Canario got walked and then Reynolds
Right.
got walked.
And then Kutch, hits to the second baseman, I think, can't get it done. And Bart, the outfield was playing in a little,
Yeah.
and he hit it deep enough. I mean, if Joey Bart can hit, yeah, if Joey Bart can hit like he did last year for us, that will help lengthen this lineup a little. That will be a great relief, and especially since it seems like Endy is coming around a little as a hitter, and he broke up the no hitter in the seventh. Hayes has been hitting. If we don't just have to count on Reynolds, Cruz, and Kutch, because it's so deflating when those guys don't come through. When you got a guy at second or third and they don't get them in, because you're like, well, now we're into the wasteland of 5 straight easy outs. So
right.
so it would be just great if we could get a little help.
Right. And just
from Bart.
a quick glance at his stats. He's hitting 282 and he has an 814 OPS. I know it's early, it's small sample size.
Right.
But that's one of your best hitters on your team right now.
Yeah, that exactly. And he came through 2 innings prior. I mean, he got the hit. It didn't get the run in. That's but he got a hit. Could have had second, third at least, and right. And then he gets another chance, and it no doubt made sure that run was going to get in. So yeah, I like what we're seeing from Joey Bart. Maybe we'll do with. I guess Horowitz is going to come back eventually, although they never mention his name anymore. I was going to say, like, I used to, when I thought Henry Davis might hit someday, I thought you could have Davis and Endy split catcher and first base, right? So you could kind of rest their legs a little, keep them fresh, that sort of thing. You could do that with Bart and Endy. It seems like some of the pitchers prefer throwing to Endy at this point, but you could do a nice little rotation. But you definitely want to keep Bart's bat in there when he's sitting like this. So
absolutely. All right, Doug. Well, we finally got through it. We got through all 13 innings here. I think it's time to give away some sandwiches. The people have been waiting long enough,
and they deserve. Right, and they've lost a few pounds waiting on sandwiches this year. So
exactly.
All right, let's bulk them back up.
Let's get into it. All right, it's already up there.
Hashtag raise it, boy. Quick. You got to just last chance. Get in there. Hashtag raise it.
We only got 116 in there. Let's get those last ones in. You got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got one sneaking in there. Let's draw our first winner. Who we got?
Oh,
Mark Henry on Twitter.
Henry. Congratulations.
Twitter. Congrats, sir. All right. Now I'm not going to clear this time.
Right. You're learning. See, just,
I found it. I found the draw again. Don't worry.
Yes.
Guys.
Yeah. I have faith.
Right.
I have faith.
So let's draw our second winner. Who we got? Nick, congratulations. Reach out to us on wherever is preferable to you. You can email us. I think we actually want you guys to email us because we need your emails because this is all digital now.
Yeah, we're in the digital. We've moved on. We're not
back in the digital age. No more snail mail to get your sandwiches.
You're not getting a gift card now. You're getting, or maybe you are getting, but it's a digital.
Right. So email us at northshore9, all spelled out, @gmail.com. And download the Primanti Bros app because that's where your gift cards are going to go. So make sure you have that downloaded. And if you like what we do here, guys, I know Jim's going to say this with his big fat head in a couple seconds. But if you like us, if you like what we do, if you want to support us, you can be a member on YouTube for 99 cents. That's how everybody has the nice emojis in the chat. Or if you want to do a little more, you can be a Patreon member. And we do giveaways. I did the giveaway this morning for our March giveaway. Gave away one of our own t-shirts as well as a shirt from Fanatics. But yeah, all these cool things that you can do to support us. And if not, just keep watching. That's the best way to support. Just keep watching.
Yeah. Again, congratulations to Nick and Mark Henry. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. It was a weird game, weird game, but we got through. We got a win. We have our first series win of the year, and it's against the Cardinals. That's a good thing. So let's go take 2 out of 3 from the Reds, and we're off tomorrow. But I'm sure we're going to have NS9 live.
Yes, NS9 live will be tomorrow. I'm not going to screw that up this time. Last week I said it was that night. It was not. Right. But yes, NS9 live tomorrow, and then as always, after every Pittsburgh Pirates game, we will be here with a post-game show. Don't know who it'll be. It's a mystery every time.
I know
that's how we get you to come back.
Right.
Well, if it's a Mitch Keller start, start,
well, if Mitch Keller goes on 1 day rest, I'm in. I am in. I love talking about my guy Mitch.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you later.
Thanks, guys. See you Friday.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.